I must be mental. Here's the back of a, well, I think it's about 1974 Stylophone 350S that I've just bought on eBay. Amazing what you can pull out of a shed and chuck on eBay, because some idiot like me might spring up and buy it. Believe it or not, I'm going to attempt to get this to work. I paid 40 quid for it. I'm probably mental, but I've seen working ones go for much more. I'm not intending to sell it, I'm intending to use it, hopefully. Initial checks, despite the state of it, are probably quite positive. What I'm crucially looking for, besides all the dead spiders and rust, is that there's no major damage to any copper tracks, and thus far I'm not really finding anything that scares me off, to be honest. This is a bit weird. 800 UF capacitor. What's the nearest modern value to that? Probably 1,000? I've never seen an 800 before. But I mean, stuff like the speaker and, you know, the connectors and everything, it's not really a big deal. I'm going to guess these on the back are the resistor couplets, because basically this Stylophone works by each key having a different resistance into an oscillator circuit. So that's just really simple passive parts to repair, or to replace even. But and even the copper tracks themselves on something of this age are pretty thick, so it's not really a problem to jump any of them with wires if any are kind of damaged. And things like screws will clean up in a jar of WD-40. So despite the state of this, I'd love to know how old that battery is. It's worth a go. So time will tell. Bath time. No damage anywhere. No plastic. Circuit boards inside at the moment, but it's fine. Doesn't look like any major damage to anything at all, really. Just a quick look now when I've got it all out on the floor. That capacitor, it's not an 800 at all. It's a 300, so I guess the closest modern equivalent to that is a 270, so if there's any trouble with that, that's not a big deal. Board's come up really nicely. I've just gone round it, well, I'm in the process of going round it with just loads of alcohol. Back of the board's fine. Casing's been bathed out. I've removed the speaker. There's loads of marks from where the rust's been on the case, which I don't think are really going to come off without using any kind of, you know, strong solvent or anything, which I don't want to use because it's going to knacker the plastic. All the support posts and everything on the plastic are fine. There's no damage, no cracks to the plastic, and I want to keep it that way, really. The main case screws are on brass inserts, so I don't think there's any risk of you know, any brittle plastic or anything like that. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. Just have a look at the other side of the board, which once I've brushed all the cobwebs off it, I'll give all the switches a spray, clean up the rest of it. You wouldn't really know that it had been, I'm guessing, stuck in a shed in the state that it was for so many years. But yeah, no real trouble on that. Even the contacts on the jack sockets there, they look like they're plated, so there's no rust or no real corrosion on them at all. So yeah, overall looking pretty good. The only bit that really is not going to survive is the speaker. Rusted through so much that one of the mounting lugs is entirely broken off, and it was actually seized to the casing. So yeah, that's not too pretty. It's a 35 ohm speaker. I found a reference to another one on the internet, and yeah, 35 ohm speaker. So even the mounting size of that, I'm finding difficult so far to find a replacement for, but I'll keep looking. I can probably just get a standard 8 ohm speaker and stick a, say, 27 ohm resistor in series with it. To be honest, I'm not desperately bothered about an internal speaker if it's going to be a load of money and a load of hassle to change it. I mean, I can bung any old kind of cheap radio speaker on the output just to test it. But it does have an output socket, which I'm more interested in routing to recording gear and effects pedals and that sort of thing, because I just think that will be more in line with what I want to do with it. I'm not a purist on this by any chance, so yeah, I'm more interested in mashing it through pedals and things. But let's not run before we can walk. There's a bit more work to do yet. One thing to note is that it originally runs on 2 PP9 batteries. PP9 batteries are massive, pretty expensive these days. I think it's about 12 quid for a pair. So it needs 18 volts to run. So I mean, to be honest, I mean I could get hold of like a laptop charger for less than 12 quid. I'm sure I've probably already got an 18 volt supply that will run it. If not, I can buy one for about 7 quid or so. I think I've got a spare 24 volt supply, so I could put a 7518 regulator in it, bolt it on a heatsink. I'm sure I've got a heatsink somewhere if need be. I mean, I don't want to spend loads of money on it. I just want to use really what I've got lying around, give it all a clean, give all these switches a spray, and see if we can get it going. But yeah, 18 volt supply, how things have come along. Here's one for all the wood grain lovers. I'm not sure what the power switch is all about. On. And it's not wah wah, it's wah wah. Maybe that's for upsetting babies. God knows. But yeah, overall, not bad shape. Usual wear and tear on the chrome of the badge, not too bothered about that. But casing overall looks pretty good. It's quite thick plastic as well. I was kind of expecting it to be kind of brittle and trashy, but not at all. I have just spotted this capacitor. I think it's a capacitor. I'll take that off and see what the board says. Doesn't look too clever. Looks like the damp's got to that. I've not put a meter around any of this or anything yet. Surprisingly, all the electrolytics look alright. They don't look to have... There we go. There doesn't look to be any problems really. There's the light sensor for the photo optical side. But yeah, all the ITT, all the electrolytics look pretty alright, and there's a couple of preset pots as well, which again, surprisingly, look really clean. I've seen much worse. And even the pot, even the volume pot there, it looks alright. I can probably get that casing off and I'll be able to get in there and spray it all out. But I don't see any copper damage. No, nothing at all. So I think the next thing is find a way to power it up. Find a speaker and a 27 ohm resistor, even if it's just one to test it with. Give all the switches and everything a spray out, and then see what we get. I think I'm going to pause it from there, and I'll do another video next time I get to it. So thanks for watching.